to adapt electronic shipping documents so no more paperwork is required. These are just few examples of how we are working to streamline and digitize regulatory requirements across our transportation sector, making it quicker and easier to get goods where they need to be. Through actions like these, as well as the National Trade Corridors Fund, we're making investments that keep our supply chains moving and easing congestion by eliminating unnecessary bureaucracy. Today's announcement is also a first step in our response to the recommendations made by the National Supply Task Force to strengthen our supply chains. Le Nous est en première étape pour répondre au rapport du groupe de travail. Last week, the task force co-chairs released their final report with 21 recommendations on how to ease congestion in our supply chain and ensure it stays resilient. By cutting red tape and streamlining regulations, we're tackling this congestion by making it easier for goods to get across our supply chain. We're continuing to review these recommendations closely, and I look forward to announcing more action we will take to address these recommendations. The initiatives I've highlighted today are part of our commitment to streamline our supply chains that make sure Canadians get the goods they need faster, and will keep doing just that. This is also part of our overall comprehensive effort to tackle the underlying causes for the global inflation and rising cost of living. We've seen how disruptions to our supply chains have impacted the costs of transportation of goods. And while on the one hand, we are offering immediate relief to families by doubling the GST credit, by cutting fees for childcare, by offering dental care for families, and by offering rental support to those who need it the most, we're also working on addressing the source and the root cause of many of those increased costs to ensure that we reduce congestions and address bottlenecks in our supply chain. And in closing, I want to take a moment to thank the Airport Authority for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Speaking about how hard it's been the last 2 years, it's been incredibly hard for airports and airport workers and airlines and airline workers. And I was pleased to hear earlier today from Kyle how things are progressing and moving in the right direction. Our government will continue to work with our partners in the industry to ensure that we maintain support, to ensure that we have a reliable, safe, and efficient aviation network. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. And our supply lines and cargo industries are so critically important for us all here in Winnipeg and indeed for our country. At this point, I was going to ask for Nadine to come forward. I think she's going to bring us through questions and answers.
So it'll be one question per reporter and one follow-up. So if you have any questions, you can come to this mic. So do you have any first questions?
Hi, I'm Gabby with the Winnipeg Free Press. I was just kind of hoping, and I'm sorry for how the news release on me, but just like how the 17 million is being distributed, like specifically, like how specifically you're streamlining processes.
So the 17 million that was dedicated in this year's budget, in 2022's budget, is meant, as I said, to address across the transportation network, to identify outdated regulations, to identify ways to modernize existing paperwork-based processes and consider offering a digital option. So I don't have a specific breakdown for you because I named some of the examples, but some of them are we're still trying to sort out. The idea is to eliminate paperwork wherever we can, across marine, air, surface, and rail modes of transportation, That way, operators will have less cost to manage that paperwork. They don't have to fill out multiple pages for different departments. It would be one portal for operators to fill in the information that is necessary and look at other type of regulations. So we can provide you with a list of some of the stuff that's already happening, but there's some that are still ongoing.
And will there be incentives to maybe for businesses that get a lot of their goods outside of Canada to bring those supply chains closer to home, like within Canada, given all the supply chain issues we've seen over the pandemic?
Look, to your point, the last 2 years have not only exposed some issues with our supply chain, global supply chain network, but it also highlighted how important it is to have reliable international partners. Canadians and in fact other countries around the world have seen that it's really critical to have a partner, a trading partner that you can rely on for goods, that is costly, that is efficient, that is safe, and that is environmentally sustainable. The world as a whole is reassessing their partnerships and where they're buying goods from. Whether it is what's happening now in Ukraine and Russia, whether it is with China's COVID-0 policy and extreme lockdowns that has caused significant disruptions. So there are overall, Minister Champagne, my colleague, Minister of Industry, is looking at overall attracting more investment back to Canada so we can manufacture more things at home. And that work is ongoing. We've seen a revival currently in the auto sector, where many new investments are coming into Canada. The world sees that Canada has all the raw ingredients and natural resources, including critical minerals that they need to build these new products in this new world. So we're extremely focused on making sure that we keep attracting investment and manufacturing capacity here at home. But we will continue to be a trading nation. 1 out of 6 jobs in Canada are reliant on trade. So we want to continue to expand our ability as well to trade with the rest of the world. So not only can we benefit from the products that we are making here at home, but we can sell them to international markets.
Do we have any more questions? Okay, that ends the Q&A portion of this event. Thank you, everyone.
So I think what we'll do is we'll draw to a close. There is a media release and contact, so if you have further questions, you can approach the department. Otherwise, thank you very much for coming out this morning to participate in the press conference. Thank you.